It was either sink or swim time for the Dallas Fuel, and they sank hard. Once Chengdu got into a team's head, it's over. Dallas started swapping over and over again on every map because they never knew what to do, which led to the ultimate disadvantage in the eventual 1-3 loss for Dallas. McCree came out of spawn from Dylan and AKM Big Net, a classic pick for him. However, there was too much poke from the bunker of Chengdu and they took control. The Winston Goats composition eventually paid off after a 2K from Lucas Note Messenger. The control from Dallas was short-lived after a best flashbang in Overwatch League took place on the Hunters' side. This time with McCree, Sombra, and Ana came on to shut down Farah and Hammond. By rushing to point with their sheer health, Dallas took control time and time again. The Ana from Benjamin Unco Chavason eventually slept Farah in the air. The last fight was super scrappy and lasted much longer than it needed to though. Chengdu eventually stopped the stagger from Dallas after Tracer, Doomfist, and Hammond came out. Chengdu won Ilios on a final score of 2-0. More craziness came in on Paris with a Sombra, Hammond, and Farah composition. Dallas dropped their patented bunker composition and went for Winston Goat's defense. The tank duo OGE and Note held point A with their ultimates. After losing point A after a few minutes, AKM beefed hard by teleporting into the enemy team. However, he made up for it in his next life by swapping Widowmaker and picking up 2 kills to win the fight. Despite the Fuel's efforts, Chengdu still finished with 2 minutes. Bunker attack from Dallas. Life was good. They walked up and rolled Chengdu, capping the point like it was already theirs. Point B would have been theirs in a flash as well if Mercy didn't have a gun after losing the snowball. Fuel swapped goats. Zachary Lombardo made a huge play by stunning Sombra out of VMP and killing her. Point B came shortly after. A scrappy point A defense again, but Dallas lived through it all. Overall, it was decent play from the Fuel, but more of a disjointed attack from Chengdu led to a full hold. After taking longer than needed to scout and decide a team composition, Dallas swapped goats for attack. After that, Chengdu's Sombra fed, OGE shifted onto point and somehow pinned the Lucio. From there, the rest was rudimentary and Dallas tied up the series after they won Paris on a final score of 3-2. Dallas ran a Reinhardt defense on Hollywood, odd since Winston is better against DPS compositions. Despite that, they camped in the mini health pack room and waited for Chengdu to overextend. During the next fight, the Hunters had ultimates and Dallas overcommitted in a lost fight. That meant that point B would be very difficult. A Roadhog came out from Zachary and he even had a huge hook onto the Mercy. But quad DPS meant that ultimate charge was being fed hard and the next fight went against with EMP. Rolling on to C, Goats came out from both teams but OG was uncoordinated with his team and died first both fights. Bunker defense from Hunters and attack bunker from Dallas. Ashe, Junkrat, Zenyatta meant way more damage from Chengdu's composition. It was only after AKM swapped Sombra that he got value, but Zachary's Hanzo actually popped off and won them the point. On point B, Dallas started playing mystery heroes, Sombra, Genji, Double Sniper, Winston Hammond. If Dallas had committed to a composition, they might actually have been able to finish B, but Chengdu was already in their heads. Dallas left with only a cap on point A. Chengdu won Hollywood on a final score of 3-1. Dorado was just a wacky map, and it's great for wacky compositions. Reinhardt Goat's defense from Dallas held in the choke under bridge. Like the previous games, the Fuel held the first fight, but after the enemy gained their ultimates, they were unable to compete. The game plan from the Fuel was to camp in the hallways and look for overextensions. Point B was held for a pretty long time, but the Sombra from AKM couldn't shut down Doomfist.
Didn't seem like they knew closer at sound barrier. They're coming in again.
I mean, Note got his mech back just in time, and now Jinmu on the Doomfist, another one of his signature heroes, goes in. Nice hit on the closer. That's a rocket punch. You wanted an uppercut to AKM. Jinmu, if you weren't on the Moo crew now, you will be after this round. Oh! Gets Unco. That's point B.
On point C, the flaw in Dallas' plan had no pressure on Hunter's Zenyatta, who was doing a lot of damage. Quad tank from Dallas came out, but the high ground and double sniper from Chengdu was just too powerful. The Fuel was forced into Winston and Sombra and managed to muscle their way through A in overtime. For point B, Zachary played Tracer and Doomfist. The fight was long and very close. Again, the Fuel captured in overtime, but last point is always a grind, and Dallas did not have enough time in the bank. The Fuel was stopped on point C, and they took the loss against Chengdu after the final score of Dorado, 3-2. The mental boom was hard for Dallas, swapping compositions and characters over and over again. The Fuel was playing Chengdu's game, which is exactly what they wanted. Making the enemy team second guess their entire plan leads to wins. Dallas just didn't know what they wanted to do against the shenanigans. They face them again next week though, hopefully coming more prepared. The final score of this match though, Chengdu 3, Dallas 1.
If you want more great Overwatch League content, make sure to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and that bell icon. Now, from our house to yours, thanks for watching.